to the MSME Minister, Nitin Gadkari, who's joining us live. Mr. Gadkari, thank you so much for your time. Last time when you spoke to me, you had talked about an opportunity in crisis. Are you confident that this stimulus is the much awaited and needed booster dose for the MSMEs?
100%, this is a historical event. The way in which the Prime Minister declared this package for MSME is really very important, and it's a very appropriate time. Actually, the 10% of the GDP is now coming under this package. And particularly for MSME, it is just like giving oxygen to a serious patient. And that is very important because the 20% working capital is now going to be increased without collateral. That is, the government is now giving, at least government not, but it's a facility given by the bank. Well, government will take the guarantee for 3 lakh crore, and this benefit going to for 45 lakh MSMEs. So this is a great thing, and I feel that this is going to helpful for the MSME to accelerate their economy.
Mr. Gadkari, what is the real thinking and rationale that has gone behind the change in the definition of MSME with the service sector, and that there is no distinction between the services and the manufacturing sectors?
Actually, this issue was pending from last many years.
Right.
It is 10 to 12 years the people was demanding, but nothing was happened. But now you understand, first of all, what is the change is. Now the first, in a previous MSME guideline, the definition, there is a classification between manufacturing and service sector. The manufacturing investment micro, the investment for 25 lakh, now an investment, the turnover service sector for 10 lakh. Now the new definition micro, it is investment for 1 crore and turnover for 5 crore. It is increased. So more MSME will cover under this scheme. Now the small scale, the first previously it was investment up to 5 crore and turnover for the service and industry it was 2 crore. Now it comes to investment 10 crore and turnover to 50 crore. So medium, the investment was for first previously it was 10 crore and for service industry it was 5 crore. Now it comes medium, now it's the new definition, it comes to 20 crore for investment and turnover 100 crore. So this is going to give a good benefit to number of MSMEs. All MSME schemes from the banks, from the government, central government, state government, because of changing in definition, this benefit is going to increase to the more beneficiaries, and that is very important. Because last many days people are demanding it, and now this very crucial problem is resolved.
Mr. Gadkari, the biggest challenge is implementation. And here the role of the banks and financial institutions in smaller towns of India, that is Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities, becomes very crucial. The question is that are the banks on board? Because the government has been nudging banks to provide credit to the MSME sector. However, banks were unwilling to lend to the sector given the high risk of default of such loans because of the current dismal economic scenario, sir.
First of all, it is important for you to understand whatever the bank loan is giving to MSME, it is not their own risk. My department is, suppose 1 lakh crore loan is given under one scheme. We have deposited 1.5% of this amount, that is 1500 crore in the insurance. We are making the insurance of the loan to the financial trust, and by which there is a 75% guarantee is taken by department. So the insurance trust. So 25% is only the bank has take to risk for that. So every time, in each scheme, there is a guarantee backup from the government side. So my feeling is now it will be more easy for banks to give the opportunity for MSME. And the second important thing is we have already taken decision, not only bank, even the NBFC, non-banking finance institutions, then cooperative bank, urban cooperative bank, now they can implement the MSME schemes which are already there. So we need to increase the coverage area for that we can cover more people under the scheme, and that is going to be helpful for spreading of MSME into the country. Presently, approximately there are some registration is there, some is not, but 6.5 crore MSMEs we have. Now it is very important for all the MSMEs or small service sector people to register them as a MSME, and they will get all the benefits, and we are now preparing different schemes.
Okay.
by which they will be benefited. And
Okay.
that is very important that they will get the benefit from it.
So what happens to the non-performing assets in this sector? Is it likely to be over 3 lakh crore rupees, and how will you be dealing with that?
Actually, fund of rupees 10,000 crore, which will combine with other funds to create a fund of rupees 50,000 crore for equity infusion in fast growing high potential MSMEs. So this benefit will definitely going to get them. But now the most important thing is the subordinate debt fund of rupees 20,000 crore. And this is going to helpful for the MSME who are in problem. These subordinate debt banks will restructure stress of NP accounts, and 2 lakh MSMEs will be benefited. And I am giving you the statistic data that up to 31st March this year, I already reply in Parliament that 6 lakh MSME was already restructured, and now we increase the limit up to 31st December. And now by this 20,000 crore fund, which can be helpful for giving to MSME, by which we can restructure will be possible. It is again going to benefit 2 lakh MSMEs. So ultimately it is going to helpful for the MSMEs, those who are under stress, and they will get opportunity for survival. So that is very important thing, is already it is declared in the package.
Yes, sir. You know, while the sentiment of not allowing global tender is understandable, one does hope that this will not come at the cost of competition and efficiency. What's your view? How will the government ensure that these tenders do not get concentrated among a few bigger MSMEs?
Actually, I am not of your opinion. For giving support to Indian economy, it is the responsibility of the government to support the MSME from our country. And that is very important. Swadeshi and Swavalamban, what is the meaning of it? We need to strengthen our industry, our economy, our people, creating more employment potential. Now our people are competent. They have good technology. Their cost is also reasonable. But because of global competition, it was difficult for them to get the tender. Now because of this removal of this global tender condition for 200 crore, it is going to helpful, particularly the defense area. Now it will go to helpful for Indian industry, the MSME, to get that order to create more employment potential, and definitely that is going to helpful for the MSME. This is very important thing, and it is particularly relative to the defense, the home ministry, the many tenders for uniform, for other thing. And suppose if the technology is not available, it is the opportunity, blessing in disguise, that our MSME can make a joint venture with the international company for upgradation of the technology, and also same time they can make the joint venture for getting more foreign capital with a low cost in their industry. So the both opportunities are there. So I always arguing one thing, that this is all going to be blessing in disguise. And it is not only up to this coronavirus problem, it is going to extend it up to for the future. And that is very important, which will get the benefit for MSME, creating more employment potential. And that is very important for Indian economy, which is going to increase the liquidity into the market also.
You know, sir, you had said that the world is turning to India for setting up of manufacturing units as they are moving out of China. Which are the companies and which are these countries that you have spoken to, and what really is the roadmap now?
Actually, the roadmap is we have already appointed one of the joint secretary for all these things. Then we are making interaction with the ambassadors, particularly from the countries, those who are keenly interested to transfer their industry and investment from China to other country. At the same time, we are also, I have a discussion with FICCI today. We are all discussion with all national and international our organizations particularly, and I am requesting that to find out the industry, those who are now want to change their destination from China to other country, and we should approach them. So we are making lot of things for that. The Commerce Ministry is also working on it, and overall the state government, we need cooperation for that. And for the reason for making attraction for this, the Gujarat government, Uttar Pradesh government, and the Madhya Pradesh government has taken a decision as far as the labor laws is concerned.
Yes.
So we need to very friendly for foreign investment, and we need to attract them. And for that reason, it is for employment potential, to create employment potential in the country. So the labor laws, we can make a new terminology, that creating employment potential in the country. And that is the most important need for the country, and by which foreign investment and foreign industry, it is going to create a booster dose to our ancillary industries, at the same time which is going to create more employment potential. One thing which I am only of the opinion that now this is time we need to diversify industry towards the tribal, agriculture, rural sector, and one of the important 115 aspirant district where the per capita income and the GDP growth is very less. And that is the reason that from that backward area, the poor people coming to urban area for their job opportunity. So if we can create job there, that is the most important thing, because the industry is centralized in Noida, Gurgaon, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. So we need to decentralization of industry. At the same time, last year, the complete year which we have completed, our village industry turnover, Khadi, Gramodyog and other, it was 88,000 crore. Now our idea is to make it 5 lakh crore within 2 years. So I am going to concentrate more on rural, agriculture, tribal and aspirant district, and going for different type of new technology for biofuels, alternative fuels, then a bamboo, then making
Last question
10
to
times
you.
more production of honey.
Last
then
question to you,
making
sir.
Khadi.
Last question
Yes.
to you, since you're talking about self-reliant India, my question is that labor reforms have happened in 3 states. Will it be taken up centrally as well? And when is that legislation likely?
Actually, my feeling is it don't need for any central legislation, because it is in the concurrent list and the state government are authorized. So those state government are interested to create more employment potential in their state, where they are interested to create more jobs for their youth. At the time, they can attract the foreign investment by taking change in this law. Now it is the time for the country, for the state and for all the stakeholders to understand the sentiments of international business, and to attract them, we need to take some decisions for creating more employment potential, which is going to abolish our poverty, and that is very important for the country.
All right, Nitin Gadkari, MSME Minister, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for telling us the details of this announcement that has been made by Nirmala Sitharaman. We are putting out all those details on news18.com. That's